Hey everybody, I'm Corbs and welcome to my office. In this video, I want to walk you through the desk setup that I have for trading every single day, and then I'll give you some thoughts for your thoughts about setting up and creating your own workspace as well. Okay, let's start with the thing that I get asked about the most, and that is my keyboard. Yeah, my keyboard is a Logitech G613. This is the Tesla of keyboards, as some people call it. This is not something that I geek out about. And when I'm picking out something like a keyboard, I'll do enough research to understand what I want and making sure that I'm getting a good product, and then I'll just get it and I'll move on with my life. And I know there's a lot of people that will break down, they'll get a bunch of keyboards, test them out, things like this for all sorts of equipment. That's not my strong suit. That's not really where I excel or something that I want to get bogged down with. When I was picking out this keyboard, I wanted something that was mechanical. I've never had a mechanical keyboard before. I grew up very poor as a child and it was a dream to always have my own mechanical keyboard. Really, this keyboard is more of a testament to what can be done with hard work and believing in yourself when others don't. The mechanical keyboard feature though, I really, as a first-time mechanical keyboard owner, I'll tell you, there's something very satisfying about the clicking, but I really suffer with accuracy on this thing. The other thing I wanted was a number keypad on the side. This was very important to me. And then lastly, I wanted something that wasn't wired, trying to keep everything very minimal. So this runs on Bluetooth, and I'll tell you, the G613, it runs on battery, and I've had to have had this keyboard for probably, it's gotta be going on 2 years, and I've never changed the batteries. I put them in once, they don't recharge, I've never changed them. And I don't think they're even low. This thing just sips on battery, and I damn near use it every single day.
Hold on, they're lithium.
My mouse is a G903 SE, also brought to you by Logitech. I've had mice problem in the past, and I've gone through a lot of these. And I'll tell you, as a trader, don't skip on your mouse. Get a good one. Spend, probably over $100 in that price point range. I forget exactly how much this one was, but I think it was around there. I wanted something when it came to a mouse that wasn't gonna give me issues, and I've had several mice, I feel like, that I've spent in that like $60 price point range on, and they just failed. Been very happy with this one. I've had this one for a couple years as well. This mouse is connected to a cord, but it actually is wireless. It charges on battery. The only complaint I have about this is I do feel that it needs to recharge a lot. So in an effort to stop having to constantly plug it in every couple days, I just leave it wired, and having one wired thing doesn't necessarily bother me at all. So it is a Bluetooth mouse, but I have it connected, just constantly charging, so I don't have to worry about that. On top of these just is a mouse pad. It's actually a desk cover, but I just use this as a mouse pad and just as something to keep me off of the desk. The desk itself is a gaming desk. This is something that, when I was looking at this, I really needed something that was very wide and something that was very deep. I knew I was gonna be setting on these monitors, and it was going to take up quite a bit of space, so I needed some good retail space when it came to the desk. The house that I'm in right now was set up in a way to where I could just kind of turn and burn my way out of this any given time. This is a rental property that I own, it's rented out, and then this is my side of the building. When I was picking out furniture and things, it was always meant to be, I could leave this at any time that I wanted, yeah? The reason I say that is because the desk is something that I definitely skimped on, and if I was planning on being in a more permanent location, I definitely would have put more effort into the desk. This is just a straight up gaming desk. I think it cost like $250. It just needed something that was thick enough to hold this equipment, and I needed something that was had the dimensions to where I could, have enough room on it. I just bought it off Amazon. It's just a straight up gaming desk. There's nothing fancy about it, and that's what holds all of my equipment. The only other thing probably besides my monitors is I do use a microphone for all of my recording. This is a Rode microphone, a very popular one. I've tried several microphones. I feel like this is one of the best microphones I could get that still did USB. Everything that I operate here runs off of a laptop, and I didn't want to upgrade the microphone to the extent of where I had to plug it into a box and go through that whole process. I stuck with just a USB mic. I don't do anything really important with audio quality, so I think that that's perfectly fine for me. The two monitors that I have sitting on my desk, the top one is I believe a 37-inch Samsung ultra-wide monitor, and then the one below it is a Samsung 49-inch ultra-wide monitor. Up top, I don't think has like a specific name necessarily. The bottom one is like an Odyssey something or another. As we've said in the past, I don't really geek out about the specific details on things. When picking out these two monitors, I wanted something that was aesthetically nice. So having the very large monitor on the bottom and then having a smaller one up top, I thought looked amazing. I also wanted some screen space with the understanding that I could only plug 2 monitors into my laptop. So I've always traded off of a laptop. I've never had like a desktop computer. Trading off of a laptop, you can only have 2 plugins for screens. And so with this setup, I could basically have 2 screens up top, essentially 3 screens down low. And then with my monitor or with the screen that comes on my laptop, we're essentially running 6 screens with just 2 outputs. So that was kind of part of the motivation behind setting up the screens this way. Been really happy with these monitors and would highly recommend Samsung. I think they make probably very good stuff. Okay, the last thing to talk about is my monitor, or my computer. So I run everything off of a Dell XPS. I've tried several laptops in the past. This has been probably my favorite one. Very happy with it. Looking at the specs on this, I'm not exactly sure how the specs are. I've had this laptop for a little while now, and I forget exactly how it is, but I just went to the Dell website and built it out. And then I talked to somebody before, and they actually helped me scale back a little bit because I went a little bit overboard. But this has the ability to power everything that we're looking at right now. It also has the ability to run a game like Elden Ring.
For all of us.
Which is pretty intensive. I don't do a lot of gaming, but I did put in 100+ hours on Elden Ring, and this laptop did the job, and everything worked out really nice with that. Okay, this is the equipment that I'm using day in and day out to trade on, and I want to wrap up this video by giving you some thoughts for your thoughts about setting up your own trading space. As you're setting up a designated space, I do believe that this is something you should put effort into. This is something that you should design the way that you want, but as a starting place, you should just do the best you can with what you have. One thing you should not do is, in the very beginning of your trading journey, worry about spending thousands of dollars on a setup. Instead, just do what you can with what you've had. I've had a lot of trading setups over the years, and the first one that I had, the second, the third one, none of them were that nice. None of them were something like what we have in right now. Arguably, this is my best trading setup that I've ever had. I think it's very easy to not understand how long the trading journey is going to take and how expensive it's going to be. Whatever in your mind the path to trading success looks like, it's going to be longer and it's going to cost you more than you originally think it is. I've talked with traders before that could not make the moves that they need to make, whether it's a certain investment or whether it's education, because they've just geeked themselves out with equipment. And I've had talks with traders where they've spent $3,000 on office equipment, and now they feel like they can't also justify paying for something that they need to make their trading business move forward. This is everything we're looking at, not necessary. I would strongly recommend that as you're setting up your trading space, do not worry about setting up monitors, buying new monitors, things like this. For the actual computing stuff that we need for trading, you don't need an extremely expensive or powerful laptop. The one that I'm using is a little bit OP. It's not necessary. You don't also have to game on it. If you have yourself an additional monitor to plug in, running a computer and a monitor, I think is plenty more than enough. As you start, and only when you start pulling money from the market, making money, actually pulling that money out, then reinvest it into your space. Set it up the way that you want. Spend some money on monitors or whatever other additional things that you would be about or that would make your office a better space for you. Now, as far as setting up your office space, the environment that we're in as traders makes a huge deal. It makes a huge deal for you taking this serious and you taking this as a business. It makes a huge impact on your performance, on how you have your office set up and the effort that you've put into this. So I would really recommend, obviously, if you have a spot where you can set off a set room that's just your office, this is a big deal. I haven't always been able to do this myself, and so in the past, I've had offices that were in bedrooms or in places that weren't even designated rooms. And that's fine. And if you're in that situation, you would still want to put some effort into at least setting up your desk or setting up some type of a way that this is your inside of a different space. This is where you work. This is your office. This is where you stay focused to trade. Put some time and energy into setting up the office the way that you want, but also do the best you can with what you have and only make improvements on things like equipment and non-necessary things once you start pulling money from the markets. That's an important point. Some very simple things that anybody can do. You don't got to be rich to do these things. One is just the cleanliness and keeping things very minimal as far as clutter goes. Your office should be a space where you don't have cups piling up, you don't have dirt, it's not just grimy to be in. This will create an environment that you want to be in more, and it's also going to really help with being focused. Very hard to be focused and to give your trading the effort and the attention that it needs if your environment that you're trying to work in is very scattered, disorganized, and it's just cluttered. On my desk, things like cord management, things like not having cups and things pile up, having the office just clean in general is a really big deal to me. Another thing along that same line is smell. The smell in an office is very, I think, important. It's not necessarily that it's has to be on the flip side, there's a bad smell in your office, but just not having any particular smell. And then if you were to step in and create some type of a smell through incense or candles,
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
this is a small thing that just makes it more of a delight to be in your office. And I would really recommend that for your office space, you put some effort into the smell of it. I've tried a lot of different things over the past, and walking into an office and being in an environment that has a pleasant smell for you is a nice thing. We have to spend a lot of times in our office. It's a small little thing that anybody can do, and it'll make a nice environment for your office. One of the other things that I've learned about putting offices together is I really enjoy having something with like an expansive view. Being able to look out and not see a wall in front of me, but be able to look out and see some real depth, or to see a scenery, or to see outdoors. This is something that's very important, and it doesn't happen on accident, but in this office, the last office I was in while I was traveling, I usually look for some kind of a space where I can set up an office to where I can either create it, or I can, it's already there, where I can just look out. This is an important feature to me as well. Okay, this is my office setup. These are the pieces that I use day in and day out, and those are some thoughts for your thoughts about setting up your own office space as well. Thanks for sticking with me to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching that video to the very end. Make sure you hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're struggling with your trading and you want my help, use the link in the description to book a free consultation today.